Hey, everybody, live from the On Target Podcast Studios in beautiful Maitland/Orlando, Florida. It's the Tom Squared Tech Talk Podcast with your hosts, Tom Jelnick and Tom Craig. It's a Friday afternoon. We are jacked up on coffee. Probably Tom has had about 19 Mountain Dews so far.
I am raring and ready to go, Tom.
It's a very special T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast episode. Welcome back. We're so damn glad you're here, and happy Friday, Tom.
Amen, Tom. Happy Friday to you. Any big plans for the weekend?
You know, Tom, I think the wife is talking about or threatening to do a garage sale.
Really?
You know what that means, Tom?
It means that you won't be found for a couple
It means
hours?
I need to get the hell out of the neighborhood.
Exactly.
There is nothing worse than a garage sale. And the comedy is, you know, she'll come to me with $22.15 that we netted, you know, for said garage sale. Look what I did. I'm like, all that work and we made $22.
Yes, I get it. But see, you have the advantage where your wife wants to have a yard sale. My wife wants to hoard.
Yeah, it's a fine line, Tom.
What if we need that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so yeah.
Give it to the in-laws, Tom. That's what I say. You push that stuff down the line.
Let me tell you, it's the other way around. It keeps getting dumped on us, Tom.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different therapeutic session.
You know how you deal with that, though, Tom? Hey, in-laws, you guys want to go out to Denny's or something for the early bird special, and you shoo them out of the house, Tom? Maybe you give them a coupon.
Yeah.
That kind of said coupon. And you get them out. And they go to Denny's. They're happy. They're enjoying their conversation. They're getting the crappy coffee. And guess what you're doing at home? You're taking their crap, sneaking into the garbage can piece by piece. Well, they'll never notice.
Yep, did that, Tom. Got caught. Won't do it again.
You've lived and learned many lessons, my friend.
Yes, that is something that, I've been down that road.
Well, let me work on that. I will think about...
refine that. And, maybe there's an app or a device that we could make to hook into Alexa or something, or some Internet of Things.
That would zap them?
Maybe
yeah.
Garbage disposal or a shredder, a garbage compactor kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you talking for the in-laws themselves or for their objects?
I'm going to steer clear of that one just because I'm looking to have dinner tonight.
Litigation.
When I get home.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
The
doghouse is an awfully known place for me, Tom.
Tom, do you ever get like a Benadryl pill and kind of slide it into their cheeseburger? Yeah. Or is that just me?
If the investigators are listening, that was not me who slid that pill into the cheeseburger, and I have no idea how it got there.
It really helps them calm down.
Yes. That's what I read on the internet, Tom. You're absolutely right.
I love sleepy time.
Good stuff.
So listen, Tom, what are we talking about today?
It's that Internet of Things. It's still out there. It is. And it's buzzing around, all those various items, everything from the toaster, the Apple, or not the Apple. Listen to me.
You love Apple, don't you? You said it. I heard it.
Well, you know what it is? It's that fancy water bottle sitting in front of me.
It's beautiful, isn't it, Tom?
It is. It's got to be the most expensive water bottle I think I've ever seen.
It's a fine water bottle, and it's got that beautiful logo down at the bottom.
I tell you. Well, beautiful is that's up for question. It's up for debate.
No, it is. It's simply beautiful, Tom.
Yeah. Well. It's had a bite taken out of it, that's for sure.
A couple bites.
Yes,
am I right?
Most recently,
BYTEs, tech speak.
Love that chip. Just took that bite out.
You're dwelling on the chips.
Oh, I'm loving it. The more Apple breaches that I see, these days it just becomes comical. The more and more they just roll in.
Has a PC ever been hacked, Tom?
Never.
No. Android phones, nothing? No.
Never. Nope. Most secure operating system ever, Windows XP, Windows 2000, never hacked.
All equally garbage.
Yep.
So with the Android, there was actually a flashlight app, Tom. Something as innocent as a flashlight app. You turn that flashlight app on, and guess what it's doing?
What's that?
It's spying on you, and it is taking data, and it's sending it to folks in Kurzblackistan, and they're working those numbers, and they're selling your in-laws all kinds of crap they don't need. But that is a real thing.
Yeah, I tell you, it drives me crazy. You know what? You turn on an Apple to get it to really mess up the device itself.
Yeah.
But
crickets.
Crickets.
Yeah, nothing on that one, Tom. Sorry, that went.
That?
Yeah,
No,
that went
right.
straight south.
Yep. No app needed. Insecure from the get-go, Tom.
I don't know,
Apple.
Tom.
That could be their new logo. But
Speaking,
you know what? We'll steer clear of Apple. Let's switch back over to the Internet of Things.
Always listening, Tom. Those in-laws. How many times are we going to pick on them today?
Not enough.
Not
at least
you're damn right.
At least once more.
So,
but I was enjoying your story about the toaster.
Yeah, the toaster. So it appears, Tom, that us as human beings. Did you ever see that movie WALL-E?
I did.
Right. And if you watch the movie WALL-E, it's all about this android or droid or whatever, the robot, the damn robot with the metal and the things with the flappers and he's got traction. He drives around. Anyway, his spaceship or whatever, wherever the hell he lives, a whole bunch of human beings that are so slothful and lazy that they just kind of wheel their happy asses around. Like they don't get up, they don't walk.
Like the in-laws.
Damn, a lot like that.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
I'm starting to see it.
Yep.
Maybe they inspired the whole movie.
I think that's where that came from.
It's called Slothful or something.
I tell you.
So, but anyway, the point is in the future, will we as humans actually move and do things and be active, or are we going to rely on technology to do every damn thing for us,
It
Tom?
is amazing the things that are being created for this Internet of Things. And it's now bleeding over into business as well, where people are writing apps for conference rooms to display automatically when the conference room is booked. It will have a light outside the conference room to automatically change based on the availability of that room. That's all fantastic. But again, it all ties back into these devices, which we really don't have control over the security of.
You know what you could do for the conference room light?
What's that?
You could put a light switch right there.
I'm just saying. $1 million idea.
Listen, I'm just laying out ideas. That's what this show is all about. As I walk past the conference room, if I want to use it and turn on the lights, I could just flip that switch and bazinga.
Keegan over in the sound room, I hope you're taking notes on this one.
This is brilliant.
Light switch.
Yeah.
Light
this
switch.
is cutting edge stuff right here.
Okay. I'm going to rush out and get one of those.
You should.
Yeah, but it's much more secure than Alexa. That's
you think
sure.
so?
Absolutely. Because again, we're not controlling the security over it. I mean, have you ever run updates on your Alexa?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, and how do you? It's
you have to hook up a PC to it?
No, that's how you make it more insecure. See, I gave you that one.
Oh, thank you. Hey, how about
Friday.
that?
I'm feeling generous.
That was very nice of you, Tom. Man, you are a giver.
Yeah, I tell you. Well, it's in my nature.
Right. It's so easy with a PC.
It is. It's
we screw up a paper bag.
If you really want to give it away, though, get an Apple and put your data on there. Straight to China.
Those people in China need my data, Tom. They do.
Apparently they do because they're
sure
getting it.
Yes.
But we can't control the security of those devices. We don't know where that data is going, and we don't know who's coming in as well. So the more devices that you're putting in your house, be it the toaster, be it the microwave, be it the oven, the refrigerator, it just goes on and on and on. The more devices that we're putting onto our network, where our PCs, which are insecure, and our
naturally.
Apples,
could you say that again?
Our PCs and Macs, which are insecure.
No, that's not what you said, Tom. I heard our PCs, which are insecure.
You're going to have to rely on Keegan to roll that one back for you. PCs, which are insecure.
I have a pretty good memory, Tom. A lot like my Mac.
Yeah. Problem with your Mac's memory is it's replicated. But that's, again, we're not going to get
the people in China need my data.
Okay, we got it. So it's very important that we segment.
Okay.
By segmenting, I mean our router or our wireless access points that we have put into the home, our home. Heaven forbid that we did not go in and change the default password or the full name of all that. We talked about that before.
Right.
But when you go in, there's an option to set up a guest network.
Right.
And that guest network will push out a different segment of addresses for those Internet of Things devices so that they are not touching our insecure computers, whatever their manufacturer
I could
may
really
be.
use that technology for Thanksgiving when Aunt Bob or Aunt Bob.
Yeah,
well, Aunt Bob's a little confused.
He's a little strange lately.
Little confused. But if I could force them to a different address other than my house.
Exactly.
That'd be terrific.
Or segment yourself, Tom.
Yeah.
Segment yourself to the man cave where the big screen is,
Yeah.
and leave them in the family room where the gosh only knows what they watch. I try to stay out of that room.
Right.
But same thing. We want segmentation here. We want to separate completely our computers from those Internet of Things devices.
Interesting, Tom.
Yes, sir. And you know where it gets more interesting, Tom?
Hit me.
When you get into the workplace.
Aha.
Because as I said, now I don't understand why you would have Alexa on your president's desk when you don't know who's listening, and there's some very private conversations going on in the president's office, but you have an open microphone there. But that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Point is, a lot of businesses are putting these devices, these Internet of Things devices, into their infrastructure without considering that segmentation that we were just talking about.
So an interesting phenomena with this Alexa too is a lot of people will say just what you just said, that it's always listening. And the reality is that it is always listening because it's waiting for that cue, for that one, Alexa, shuffle my music. It's sitting there eagerly anticipating your voice, my voice, Keegan's voice, whosever voice it is, Aunt Bob.
Yep.
Really weird voice there.
Like to be called Caitlin these days.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll move right beyond that. But you're right. I think we've got to be really, really smart about having these things in our home, in our business, and understanding that, something is always rolling in some way, shape, or form, right? Something has to be listening.
Exactly. And then, so you take that thought into segmentation, and we want to segment that out. But that could also be expanded a little bit while we're doing this in the workplace. So when you go in the workplace and you want to expand or segment out these devices from your network, consider the different departments throughout your organization as well, and consider segmenting those. Segment the finance department and the HR department possibly from administration and other duties, whatever they may be. Warehouse.
You said duties.
Right. Well, always being dutiful.
That's nice.
So be it a warehouse, manufacturing facility, whatever your organization is, figure out your different areas and the different levels of security you'd like to see within your organization, and segment that out, because we don't want Bob in the warehouse clicking on something that he was emailed and it affecting the finances of the organization.
That Bob, he's always clicking the crap out of things. I'm like, Bob, stop it, Mr. McClicky Pants.
No matter how many times you talk to him about fishing, Mr. McClicky Pants, I love that, is always just clicking away.
Yeah, Bob, you keep your damn hand off the clicker.
I tell you, no fear whatsoever with that guy.
No,
just
Bob,
you
know what you need to be doing, Bob? You need to be shipping packages.
Exactly. Should be in the, we'll just leave it there.
You
Bob,
just keep shipping.
Get back to work, Bob.
Yeah,
and stay
Bob.
off the computer.
Yeah, stop touching it.
But see, we wouldn't have to worry about that if Bob were in a group where if he clicked on something and it launched something nefarious.
I was gonna say, you beat me to it.
We haven't used that word in like 3 podcasts. It was time.
It was time. It felt good though.
It does.
It did. It felt right.
It's important that people know about those characters.
Yeah.
But if we can segment and keep the dangers down, not only will that help keep us safer, but that will also help with compliance, such as HIPAA compliance, PCI, that's the payment card industry compliance.
I see.
So people
it sounds like PCP. Cards. Isn't that a drug, Tom?
The PCP is about as strange as the PCI regulations these days.
Very good.
Yes,
I like what you did there.
On one to understand the other.
Yeah.
But
that's what you've heard anyway.
It's what I read on the internet.
Sure, it's got to be true then.
That's right. But we want to make sure that for those compliance reasons, they're segmented. And if you're ever audited from the payment card industry or something like, if you take credit cards, they're only going to audit that segment which takes credit cards.
Sure.
So if that's per se your retail department, you segment your retail department off to their own network. It's all done with, you don't have to go buying additional equipment. It's just a little bit of configuration changes. But if you can segment the retail department off, and if you're ever audited, you only have to pay for the machines in that segment and not pay for all of the machines in the organization. That which is a huge bonus. But think about that same thing if Bob opens up that attachment.
Damn it, Bob.
Yep. When they click on it and they open it, they're only going to see the devices in that segment.
You know what Bob likes? Michael's arts and crafts ads.
Now, you know what he really likes?
What's that?
Everything.
He does, damn it.
Everything. FedEx, UPS.
He's clicking this, he's clicking there, he's playing solitaire.
Well, it had the SunTrust logo.
Yeah, it's got to be legit, Tom.
Right, gracious. Hey, well, you know what? If it weren't for the Bobs of the world, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be so neat.
Breaking PCs every day, Tom.
I tell you. You know, because
go ahead. What do you got?
You can't break an apple. You know why?
Why?
Because it was broken the day you bought it.
Really?
That's where I'm going.
I don't think that's true, Tom.
Yeah. Well, China does.
So we segmented out our network. I have an maybe not interesting to anybody else other than me, but here's an interesting question.
Okay.
So within the router, within whatever device you're using to segment these out, does that allocate a certain percentage of bandwidth from what you've got coming in the door to those particular segmentations?
Well, now
that was a really geeky question. I'm really sorry for those of you listening.
Yeah, or some people might really appreciate that because here's why they'll appreciate it. On a rudimentary level, on the basic level, no, it just segments and separates. That's its core.
It lifts
function.
And separates,
exactly,
like a man bra.
I've read
or a thong.
I've seen.
Sure.
I've got nowhere to go with.
Sorry about that. I just totally distracted Tom. He got all red on that one, red in the face.
You throw that one out there, and I'm suddenly on the beach.
He's blushing.
But no. So not only on a rudimentary level, that's going to segment it, but what you can do is then you can go into your router functions and such, whatever you're using to manage that, and you can escalate the priority of certain segments over others. So let's say you segment your guest traffic out because you're an auto dealership.
Sure.
You've got people coming and they're going to sit in the waiting room and they're going to stream Netflix and do whatever. You don't want all the people that are there streaming to interfere with your business and your organization's daily functions. So what we want to do is give a lower priority to that guest network and say that they can only
except for mine. Like if I walk into the car dealership and they got to know that it's Tom and I need like all the bandwidth that they've got. They should give that to me.
The difference is I know you a little bit better than that. And I know that when you go into the car dealership, you don't jump on their free Wi-Fi. I know you're using your cellular connection.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but in theory, should you want to use their Wi-Fi, I'm sure they'd put you on the secure network.
As it should be.
As it should be. But no, so being able to separate that guest traffic and give that a lower priority will keep your bandwidth from being hogged by all the Netflix streaming and whatever else that people do when they're waiting for their car.
And you can do this at home too, folks. This is what's really interesting. This doesn't just apply to a business. You can take this particular segmentation concept, bring it into the home, and put the in-laws on the lowest band that you need, lowest priority.
Yep,
right?
I call it priority 0.
Can't go much lower than that, Tom, can we?
Nope, that's where they're currently located.
Yeah, they get like 1 megabyte upload, 1 megabyte download.
Wow, you're that generous, huh? Wow, you are.
What are you're like 200K?
Man.
Yeah,
you're a better man than I, Tom.
But seriously, and if you have like Alexas or you have even home security cameras, you have your toaster oven now could be completely voice activated. Trust me, folks, it's a thing. I've seen refrigerators that are connected to the internet.
Yep.
It's really, really important that we keep that away from, you already said it, any data that we may stream from our machines. If you're doing your home accounting or logging into your SunTrust bank account, Tom, like you might do.
Exactly. Yeah, well, when I can get there.
Or try to do.
When try to do being the key word. Yeah,
but yeah,
that's a whole other podcast.
Keeping that data separated out, I think that's a brilliant idea. And, if you're not sure how to do it, I'd encourage you to go over to your router in your house, look at it, figure out what make and model you got there, and go online. Don't use the in-laws priority channel because it's just going to be a crappy experience.
Exactly. Laden with viruses.
Yeah, and other things like liver pills and stuff. So you're going to hop on, and depends. It all depends on them. That's so right. They're going to, you get online, you figure out what kind of router you have, and you can Google that and try to,
Yep. And Google that router, make a model with maybe guest network or priority, and you can figure out how to do it from there. And if you can't, we'll drop us a line here at the T2 Tech Talk podcast.
You nailed that.
We'd be more than happy to assist.
We are pleased. That's the kind of people we are, Tom. We're givers, and we want to help you. We understand that some of this stuff is daunting and maybe intimidating, but you know what? We're not scared, are we, Tom?
We're not. And thanks to Richard in Orlando for listening. I see he's online listening. Want to give props out to him, and say if you all have any other ideas as well about something you'd like to hear about, let us know. Drop us a line.
So are you ready to reach into your mail sack, Tom? We are digging in deep.
Reach deep into our mail sack.
I'm going to grab right out of that mail sack. This is from Vanessa.
All right.
Vanessa is from Mount Pleasant. Where is that? Do you know where that is, Tom?
I think that's west of us, is it?
Is it even in? I don't even know if that's in Florida.
Like a better place.
It sounds like a nice place, doesn't it?
It does.
Pleasant, Mount Pleasant,
Niceville, Florida.
Niceville.
Just want to go there. Don't even know why.
So she's asking. Here's her question in a nutshell because it was like 16 paragraphs. So here's her scenario. She's got a couple Internet of Things in the house, and her question it's a great question, but basically it's coming down to, if you can't keep things updated like Alexa, like if you don't know how to manually how are you making sure that like one Internet of Thing device can't be like a wormhole to get into another? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, and I can understand why she took 16 paragraphs to try to get that point across.
I'm sorry. I tried to distill that down,
and you did a great job of it, because that is a fantastic question. And I'm going to be honest with you. In one of our previous podcasts, you and I had talked about fear of IT people.
Fear, spooky.
That's right. That's one of the biggest fears of the IT security profession right now, of all the professionals I know, are those devices, because we don't know what wormholes are possibly there. Well, because they haven't been discovered yet.
Right.
People are trying to, and they've found a few different ways. We've seen a couple interesting stories, but nothing on a mass scale yet. But the point is that it's very prevalent, and it's very unknown. It's very spooky.
Spooky. I like what he did there. Yeah, it's very Halloween-y up in here today.
I tell you, well, October, here we are. But no, it's just that. So Vanessa, make sure that you, as we were talking earlier, separate that stuff onto the guest network, because that way, any holes that are open into your infrastructure are open to the guest infrastructure. And with any luck, it's going to wipe out the in-laws' computer when it comes
That would be terrific.
Yep.
But then you know what what's going to happen?
I do.
Tom,
yep.
I can't get on the internet. That's what's going to happen. And then you're screwed, right? You're up all night fixing her computer.
Yep. And you talk about service level agreements.
Yeah.
There's no service level agreement expectation greater than that of the in-laws.
Hell no.
Just kills me. It has to be handled
nonstop, 24/7. Nag.
Do you know how many in-laws it takes to change a light bulb?
How many, Tom?
None, because you and I are always called to do it.
You're damn right.
I tell you. So.
But that was a really great question, and I'm thinking about this even deeper. So let's say that you went out and got the newest, fanciest GE refrigerator that's all web enabled, blah blah blah, and it orders in your groceries and gives you a close shave, all of those things. And let's say that they don't update their firmware, but someone figured out how to get in from your Alexa to get into that refrigerator because that refrigerator didn't lock itself down.
Correct.
I mean, I could see how all of this can just eventually snowball into one big cluster, Tom.
Boy,
rhymes with dump truck.
I certainly do. And props to Jay in Boston, one of our listeners who is big into watching this Internet of Things security. And he's just waiting for the big event to happen, because something's going to happen soon.
You know everybody, Tom.
Yeah, well,
you are a Mr. Know Everybody.
Thanks to the T2 Tech Squared podcast.
Just try that again, Tom.
No, I'm going to have to skip over that.
You know how many times I had to practice that? The T Squared Tech Talk podcast.
Well, that certainly gets our name out there and allows me to be a little bit better known, Tom. And that's what you do best.
The TV just miraculously came on in the old podcasting studios here, Tom. I think there could be a ghost in this particular machine.
Do you know what that is? That would be either A, China, Or B,
you think it's China?
Or B, the Internet of Things. See?
Creeping in through the Mac? Is that what you're alleging?
Well, that was the first one. But no, the second one is we don't know where it's coming from.
Keegan saved the day once again.
I tell you, that guy, what would we do without him?
I don't know. He's amazing.
We wouldn't sound as good as we do, that's for sure.
Damn right. It takes a miracle to make this stuff happen.
Well, it does. And it takes a miracle for us to sound good thanks to Keegan. It takes a miracle for us to be found on the internet. Thanks to you, Tom.
Oh, Tom, you always make me blush, man. You know the right things to say.
Yeah, well, if people want to be found on the internet, Tom, where can they find you?
They could go to ontargetdigitalmarketing.com, Tom. And if people want to protect their networks, protect their home networks, keep their business running smooth as silk, how would they find you?
You know where I'm always at, Tom? I'm
in
the closet.
Are you in there? Is Tom Cruise in there with you?
You'll always find me in the closet. That's right. We still can't get Tom to get out. But,
that poor Tom Cruise.
I came out for this, and I'll be back in by the end of the day. But no.
You and Aunt Bob.
I tell you, that's right. And on that note.
That was a great note.
It was. But thanks for joining us again. And of course, you can find me at Advanced System Solutions. And Tom, if you want to be found, at On Target.
You go to ontargetdigitalmarketing.com and we'll take darn good care of you and your in-laws if you want to throw that into the package. But thank you so very much for listening to the show. You learned about thongs, man bras, Aunt Bob, network segmentation, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff today. Thank you guys so much, all 82 of you now.
Amazing.
Take care now. Thanks, bye-bye.
This podcast was recorded at the On Target Podcasting Studio.